Good morning students, Sairam, this is Megha Miss here, and today we are going to start with our revision parts. Okay students, so today the first lesson which we are going to revise is your laws of motion. So what you studied students in this? First you studied definition, we started with the distance. Distance is the length of the actual path travelled by an object in motion. When it is in motion, it is travelling some path which is the actual path what is travelled by it while going from one point to the another. Okay. Then you studied the displacement. Yes, displacement is the minimum distance. You will remember the words minimum distance, okay, between the starting and the finishing points. Okay students, so first part we studied distance and displacement. Then we studied speed and velocity. Now what is speed student? Speed is equal to, you will remember the formula, total distance travelled upon time taken. Okay, the distance travelled in one direction by an object in unit time, okay, is called its velocity. So when an object is moving in one direction in unit time, we call it as the velocity. Here unit time can be 1 second, it can be 1 minute, 1 hour, etc. If large units are used, 1 year can also be the unit of time. Okay students. The displacement that occurs in unit time is called the velocity. So how you will define velocity? The displacement that occurs in unit time is called your velocity. Okay. Now what is the formula you have for the velocity? Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. Okay. So the units of speed and velocity are same. You will remember students. In the SI system, unit is meter per second, both for speed also and velocity also. While in CGS system, it is centimeter per second. Speed is related to distance, while velocity it is related to displacement. Okay. If the motion is along a straight line, the values of speed and velocity are the same. Okay. So if the motion is along a straight line, then the value of speed and velocity will be same. Otherwise, they can be different. Okay. So speed value and the velocity value can be different. When they can be same? When they are in a linear motion, you can say. Straight line means linear motion. Okay, we will call that time the speed and velocity values are same. Okay, units are also same. Okay, now then we studied the parts of uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Now students, what is a uniform motion? If an object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time, it is said to be moving with a uniform speed or uniform motion. Okay. Example, a body moving with a constant speed in a straight line, that is your linear motion, has a uniform motion. Okay students. So if a body is moving with a constant speed, the speed is not changed of that body and it is covering equal intervals of time, it is covering equal distances, we will say that the body is in uniform motion. Okay. Now what is non-uniform motion? If an object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, it is said to be moving with a non-uniform speed. For example, the motion of a vehicle being driven through the heavy traffic. Now in heavy traffic, even though if I keep the speed same, but because of the traffic, of course, whatever the distance I will cover in equal intervals of time will be different. Okay students, so I hope uniform motion and non-uniform motion is clear to you. Okay. Now the next part we are going to see, that is the acceleration. Now the rate of change of velocity is called the acceleration. Okay, means the change of velocity is defined with the time, we say it as the acceleration. Now acceleration is equal to, what is the formula students? Change in the velocity upon time. Okay. If the velocity of an object changes during a certain time period, then it is said to have accelerated motion. Okay students, an object in motion have the two types of acceleration. Okay, we'll see those types students. Important is to remember the formula. Okay, what is the formula? Again we'll see, change in velocity upon time. Yes. Now you have two types of velocity, you have studied since. You have the initial velocity and you have the final velocity. Initial we write with u, final we write with v. Okay, and time we write it as t. So what is the formula students? Acceleration, we use the symbol small a. Okay, so final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. So what you will get? A is equal to v minus u upon t. You can see it here. Yes. So this is the formula which we are using during the Newton's equations also, right? Okay, so we will proceed to the next part, students, now. Yes, till here is it clear? Okay, so we'll proceed. Now what is our next part? The next part you have is the positive, negative and zero acceleration. Okay, now what is positive acceleration? An object can have positive or negative acceleration. When the velocity of the object increases, the acceleration is positive. Remember, students, velocity increases, acceleration positive. In case the acceleration, in this case what will happen? Acceleration will be in the direction of velocity. Okay, what is negative, students? When the velocity of an object decreases with time, it has negative acceleration. If velocity is decreasing with time, negative. If it is increasing, positive. Okay, negative acceleration is also called as deceleration. Important to remember. Its direction is opposite to the direction of velocity. Okay, if the velocity of object does not change with time, it has the zero acceleration. If there is no change in the velocity with time, we called it has a zero acceleration. Okay, students, so you will remember positive, negative and zero acceleration. Okay, next part you studied, that was the graphs. Yes, the first graph you studied was the distance time graph for uniform motion. Now students, you know, for the uniform motion you are going to get a straight line. Okay, I have told you in before also that you plot these points in the graph paper and see, you are going to get a straight line. So I'll just read it out. Okay, the following table shows the distance covered by a car in fixed time intervals. Okay, an object in uniform motion covers equal distances in equal time intervals. We know, we have studied now only. Yes, that is the uniform motion, that the object in uniform motion covers equal distances in equal time intervals. Okay, you can see the time interval is also same here, 10, 15, 20, 30. See how the time is increasing by 10, 10. The distance is also increasing by 15, 15, right? 15, 15 is the difference. So same difference it is increasing. Okay, so thus the graph between the distance and time is a straight line. Okay, in what, students? In uniform motion you are going to get a straight line graph. Okay, next part was the distance time graph for non-uniform motion. Now you know, in non-uniform motion, the whatever the speed what is there, even though the speed is uniform, distance covered in can be different, right? So the following table shows the distances covered by a bus in equal time intervals. Time interval is same, but here the distance changes non-uniformly. Can you see 7, 12, 20, 30? Any differences coming when you minus two numbers, right? But when you see the time, 5, 10, 15, yes, 5 units it is increasing. So thus the bus is having non-uniform motion. So students, tell me, are you going to get a straight line graph? No, you are not going to get a straight line graph in the non-uniform motion. Okay, should we proceed? Okay, let's see now. Velocity time graph for uniform velocity. Okay, now a train is moving with a uniform velocity of 60 km per hour for 5 hours. Okay, so it has got a uniform velocity 60 km per hour for how much time? 5 hours. With the help of the graph, how will you determine the distance covered by train between 2 to 4 hours? So 2 to 4 hours we have to see. You can see here, this is our 2 hours and this is our 4 hours. So we have to see the distance, how it is covered. Okay, is there any relation between the distance covered by the train between 2 and 4 hours and the area of the particular quadrangular? Can you see a quadrangular? A, B, C and D. Okay, so not A, B, C, D, it will be A, B, D, C. Okay, or it can be anything, A, C, D, B, anyhow I can name it. Okay, so this is quadrangle. If you see, it is a rectangle. Okay, so what is the acceleration of the train? We have to also find the acceleration of the train. Okay, how we will do this, students? We will just see. We have done this before also. So what is our answer first? S, that is we have to calculate the displacement between 2 to 4 hours, right? So S is equal to V into T. What you will multiply? Velocity, okay, multiply by time. Okay, now what it will be? 60 multiply 4 minus 2. Okay, that is we are going to, T will be your difference. Okay, 2 to 4 hours it is told, so 4 minus 2 is your 2. Okay, so 60 multiplied 2, you will get 120 kilometers. Okay, then area of quadrangle, you know length into breadth because it is a rectangle, so 60 multiplied by 2, you will get 120. So this is equal to the distance travelled by the train. Yes, S is your distance travelled by the train. That is answer 1 what we have solved. And the acceleration of train is going to be 0 because whatever the area of quadrangle, it is equal to the distance travelled by the train. So there is no change in the velocity, and when there is no change in the velocity, you know students, the acceleration is going to be 0. Okay students, I hope you understood this part. Okay, so now we will move to the next part, that is the velocity time graph in the figure 1.8. We will see this now. Velocity time graph shows that the velocity changes by equal amounts in equal time intervals. Yes, you can see 5, 10, 15, 20 like this points I have taken on x-axis, and you have taken 8, 16 means 8 stable, you can see I have taken there. Okay, and what it is showing the graph, the velocity changes by equal amounts in equal time intervals. Thus, this is a uniform acceleration in accelerated motion, means it has got a uniform acceleration. Okay, for all uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph is a straight line. You will remember here also you can see a straight line graph is there. So what it will be? It will be always uniformly accelerated motions. Okay, for non-uniformly accelerated motions, the velocity time graph may have any shape. As I told you, will not get a straight line graph in a non-uniform motion. Okay, and depending on how the acceleration is changing with the time. Okay, so remember simple parts, you will remember uniform acceleration, a straight line graph you are going to get. In non-uniform linear motions, you are not going to get any straight line graph. It can be of any shape depending upon the change in acceleration with the time. Is it clear till here students? Okay, now the next parts we are going to study students, that is the Newton's equations. Yes, more important. Okay, equation describing, first we will see the equations describing the relation between velocity and time. Okay, so we are going to see first the relation between velocity and time. Yes students, what we are going to require now? We are going to require a graph. We are going to have one graph. Okay, you can see it. So whenever this question is asked, whenever you have to prove the Newton's equation, this graph is to be drawn. Okay, now there is a change in velocity with the time of a uniformly accelerated object. The object starts from the point D in the graph with velocity u. So the object, here you can see the object is starts from the point D. So it is starting from this point D and its initial velocity will be u. You know this. Its velocity keeps increasing and after time t it reaches the point B on the graph. So where it is reaching? This point it is reaching. Okay, in what time? T. Okay. The initial velocity of the object, you will take this part, that is OD, is your u. Okay. Final velocity of the object, that is OC, this O to C, this part, what it will be? It will be V. You know this now. And time, that is OE. OE, this part is your time. Okay, that is going to be T. Okay students, did you understand till here? Okay, we'll proceed. Yes. So acceleration, you know. What is the formula students of the acceleration? Change in velocity upon time. Now final velocity minus initial velocity upon time we will write, right? Now what is our final velocity students? Now only we wrote OC, this part. Okay, initial is your OD. So we have written OC minus OD. Upon time we have taken as T. So what you have got here? OC minus OD. If you do OC, from that if you minus this OD, what is remaining students? Can you see this CD part is remaining? Yes. So can you see there I have written, therefore CD is equal to 80. Okay. How 80 came? You know acceleration, you can write it as A. So A is equal to, you have got CD upon T. So this T when I multiply with A, it will become 80. So CD is equal to 80. Okay students, I hope till this part it is clear to you. Okay. Now what we have going to do students? Draw a line parallel to y-axis passing through B. Can you see I have drawn this parallel line, dotted parallel lines. Okay. This will cross the x-axis in E. Can you see here E point is there? Yes. Draw a line parallel to x-axis passing through D. Can you see? And it is touching to point A. Okay, clear? All these dotted lines are there, na? They are all parallel lines. Remember that much. Okay, we'll proceed. Yes. Now, from the graph what you are going to get, students? Yes, just look at the graph. BE. Can you see this B to this E? Okay, is equal to, this is the addition of AB plus AE. Yes. Now you know, therefore BE is your what? Velocity. This whole thing is your velocity, na, from here to here. Yes, so we have written BE is equal to V. So we have put it V. Okay, is equal to, now AB is equal to this CD part. Yes, and this AE is equal to this OD part. Okay, same side, as you can see, they are opposite and they will be same. Okay, so what you are getting, instead of AB I have put CD, instead of AE I have put OD. Okay, what you got now? CD value now only you got. What is that? 80. Okay, OD value you already know is U, and V you already know. So students, what you are getting? You are getting the equation, that is V is equal to U plus 80. Okay, this 80 plus U, I can write it as U plus 80 also. Okay, so this is our first equation of motion. Okay students, I hope you understood how we have derived this first equation. Okay, now we will move to the next part. The next part is our second equation. Now how to prove the second equation? Equation describing the relation between the displacement and time. Okay, same graph we are using. Let us suppose that an object is in uniform acceleration A and it has covered the distance S within the time T. Okay, so you have uniform acceleration A, you have distance covered S, and you have the time T. Okay, from the graph in the figure 1.9. The distance covered by the object during time T is given by the area. So whatever the distance is covered by the object, we will consider it by the area of the quadrangle DOEB. This quadrangle we will consider. Okay students, so we will proceed. Yes, now you can see that quadrangle looks like a, what? We are going to take it S. Okay, for that quadrangle's area we are going to take it S, that is the distance will be equal to the quadrangle area. So S is equal to area of the quadrangle DOEB. Okay, now in the quadrangle, if you see, it is made up of what, students? You can see this rectangle is there and one, yes, what is there? A rectangle is there and one triangle is there. Yes, so what? Area of rectangle. First we will take the area of this rectangle, that is DOEB. Okay, plus area of triangle DAB. Okay students, so what it will be? If you take area of rectangle, means what? You have the length into breadth. So AE you will take. Can you see where is the AE? Yes, AE into OE I am taking, plus half into base into height is for your triangle. So half into your AB. Okay, AB is your height here and DA is your base here. Okay students, so we will put up the values. Now you know that, but AE is equal to, now OD you know it is U, so AE part will be also equal to U. Okay, OE, that is this part, is your time, OE is your T. Okay, and OE is equal to your DA also, which is equal to the time, because opposite sides of the rectangle they will be similar. So AB, what will be AB students? It is 80, because you got na CD is equal to 80 we got. So here CD will be equal to AB, which is equal to 80. See, it is written here from equation 1. Okay, so when you substitute the value, student, what you are going to get? S is equal to U into T plus half into 80 into T. When you will solve this now, you will understand it better. I think till now you have solved it. Okay, so what you will get? S is equal to UT plus half 80 square. Okay students, this T and T will become T square. A is as it is written, half also mentioned, and U and T is UT. Okay, so this is the Newton's second equation of motion. Okay students, in second equation we have considered the distance travelled by the body is equal to the area of the quadrangle. The quadrangle is made up of a rectangle and a triangle. Okay, we found out the areas of both we added up and we got the equation for the motion. That is your second equation of the motion. Is it clear, students? Please solve it again. Okay, when you will solve it, you will understand it more better. Okay, now the next part we will see. What is our next part, students? That is the equation describing the relation between displacement and velocity. That is the Newton's third equation. Okay, now what we are going to do is, we have seen that from the graph in figure 1.9 we can determine the distance covered by the object in time t from the area of the quadrangle. Yes, last we for the equation 2 we took the quadrangle area only. Okay, DOEB. Now what we will consider, students? DOEB is a trapezium. This whole part we will consider it as a trapezium. Okay, so we can use the formula of its area. We will take the area of trapezium. Okay, what it will come to? S, again distance. S is equal to area of trapezium DOEB. You will remember the formula. What it is? Half into sum of the lengths of the parallel sides multiply by distance between the parallel sides. Okay, so when you substitute the values, okay, S is equal to half into OD plus BE multiply by OE. Okay, OE will be the distance between the parallel sides. You know, time we have taken as OE. Okay, that is the distance, and OD and BE are your distances. Okay, opposite sides distances. That is the opposite sides. Okay, so OD is equal to U, B is equal to V, and OE is equal to T. So when you substitute the values, you get S is equal to half into U plus V multiplied by T. Okay, students, is it clear till here? Okay, how we have done this values you have understood? Okay, now but you know A is equal to V minus U upon T. You know this formula. Now T is equal to, if I want to find the T, it will become V minus U upon A. Okay, so therefore S is equal to half U plus V multiply by, okay, V minus U upon A. Now how it came? See here. Here you have U plus V. Can you see here? S is equal to, what is our second equation, student? S is equal to half U plus V into T. Now we have substituted value of T. What is that, students? T value? You can see here. That is, see this part. V minus U upon A. Can you see I have put it here? Yes. Now this is U plus V, V minus U. Okay, that I have taken it together. Okay, U plus V I can also write as V plus U. Okay, upon 2 into A will become 2A. Okay, now 2AS, this 2 I will multiply to this S. Okay, what you are getting, students? 2AS is equal to V plus U and V minus U. Now you know A plus B, A minus B formula is equal to A square plus B square, or A square minus B square. Yes, it is A square minus B square. Yes, so here we will write it as V square minus U square. So what is the equation, students, you are getting? V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Okay, students, so this is the Newton's third equation of motion. Okay, please solve all these three equations in your notebook. You will understand it more better. Okay, I hope till now you have practiced solving it, because you have this again in 10th standard. You have all these equations to be used up. Okay, students, so I hope today's part is clear to you. We'll meet in the next presentation with your next part of revision of this lesson. Okay, students, thank you. Sai Ram.